See you at the end of the video.
Okay, so that being said, now it's time to go to the presentation. And actually, I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible because it's a lot of information. So as I mentioned before, if you guys have any questions, just write them down in a piece of paper and then send it to me via email, WhatsApp, or Facebook. And then I will respond to all of them. So, but first of all, let's start with who I am. My name is Alberto Amador. I'm a certified real estate advisor in the state of New York and Mexico. I'm also a professional photographer and entrepreneur. I lived in New York City for around 16 years, and it was amazing. It's one of my favorite cities in the world, but however, it's too cold for me. So after I met my wife in New York, we sold everything and we traveled the world for around 2 years until we found our paradise here in Mexico. Now, why we ended here? Well, I don't try to brag here, but after being in pretty cool places in Africa, Europe, Asia, and in a lot of places in North America, we realized that actually this is an amazing place to be. And I will explain all that a little bit later, but definitely we found our paradise here in Mexico. So here are my credentials. This is on the left is my New York State real estate license, and on the right is my certification for a real estate broker here in Mexico. Why the Riviera Maya? And that's exactly what I was talking before. Well, because the Riviera Maya is not just turquoise water and amazing beaches. It's also Cancun, Playa del Carmen. So all of these places are pretty near from here. No matter where you are, you can just go in a matter of a couple of hours. So it's Cancun, it's Playa del Carmen, it's Isla Mujeres, Cozumel, Mérida, Chichen Itza, Bacalar, Holbox. It's also the food, the amazing traditions, amazing parks like Xcaret, which, by the way, Xcaret won in 2020 like the best theme park in the world, even better than Disney World, which is pretty cool. Also, the culture here, the aquatic sports, the coral reef is the second biggest coral reef in the world after the one in Australia. Scuba dive, nightlife, turquoise water, beaches, the ruins. I'm sorry, the lost cost of living. I mean, living here in Mexico, I don't know where you coming from, but it's pretty affordable. I'm not going to say it's the cheapest one. It's nothing like Thailand or something like that, but it's pretty close. So you can have a pretty good living here. And if you're making somehow at work, you're making some kind of dollars and you spend them in pesos, man, you have everything to go. So also this location is very amazing because of easy flights to New York, Miami, Europe, etc., and a lot of business opportunities here because there's a lot of new entrepreneurs and digital nomads living in this area in Tulum and Playa del Carmen, and a lot more opportunities. Now let's go to another topic. It is safe to live in Mexico. Absolutely. I can say that, for example, I have here in Wikipedia this list of mass shootings in the United States in just 2021. Sorry, so you can see. I don't try to compare or saying that Mexico is way better or safer than other countries, but definitely, I mean, we are not that different than, for example, the States. Look how many mass shootings were here, and that's the difference. Because when you are in Mexico, let me go back to my presentation here. I'm not saying that Mexico is the safest. I know we have a lot of issues here, but definitely they are not targeting America. I'm not saying that Mexico is the paradise or anything. We have a lot of issues here. But Mexico may be more dangerous than the US overall, but not for Americans. And what I mean is they're not targeting Americans or foreigners or expats or tourists. This is an intern issue that they have in Mexico, and we have in Mexico, but definitely it's not as it's no more dangerous than, for example, Houston or Texas, or I'm gonna send you all the links of all this information, all this like here in Wikipedia, all this information at the end of the presentation, that you can go and see it, all this information by yourself as well. So yes, you can go visit, invest, and live in Mexico, absolutely, and just feel comfortable, and you will be fine, trust me. Before you invest here in Mexico as well, I want to do you understand what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish by coming here and invest or buy a house in Mexico? Do you want it to live and retire maybe? Do you want it just as a vacation house? Or do you want it as an investment and create money out of your property? What is better for you and your pocket as well? Because obviously all that is going to depend also on your your budget. But what is better for you? A studio, a one-bedroom apartment, or a two-bedroom apartment or more? Well, let me tell you that it's already proven that studios and one-bedroom apartments, if your intention is to invest and rent it out, one-bedroom apartment will be the best option, because they keep rented more weeks out of the year than a two-bedroom or three-bedroom apartment, or even a house. And the reason is because there's a lot of solo travelers or new couples without kids or anything, that they can travel more and work from home, or from wherever they are, and your apartment will be rented more weeks out of the year with one bedroom than a bigger apartment or a house, because it's families or big groups. They are more limited on traveling, so maybe they can just travel, I don't know, on just vacations, summer and Christmas, and that's it. Versus a one solo person traveler or a couple, is more likely that they travel more often and they keep or stay in your apartment for more weeks, unless you rent on a two-bedroom apartment with lock-off. Lock-off, pretty much what it means is that if you have two-bedroom apartment or three-bedroom apartment, each bedroom, it has its own independent entrance, meaning that you can even rent that apartment separately. Meaning, if it's a two-bedroom apartment, you can rent it to two couples or two people or two travelers and receive two rents at the same time. And also, if you have like a big group or a family, you can rent the whole place to all of them. So I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say. But as a lock-up system is exactly that each bedroom, it will rent separately. Now, for example, one is going to be bigger than the other one, and one is going to have the kitchen and the living room. That one, it will be rented at a higher price, and the other second bedroom, it will be more like a hotel suite, if that makes sense. 78% of all tourism in Mexico goes at least once to the Riviera Maya. I mean, 78% of the tourism comes here. Tulum is the #1 place for entrepreneurs and digital nomads in Mexico. And that means a lot of business opportunities all the time. Yes, as I mentioned before, if you just go to a coffee shop or something, it could be that you can network and meet your next client or your next partner on business. Also, the Tren Maya will be here. The government of Mexico, they already start building the Mayan train. This train, it will connect like 4 or 5 different states in the south of Mexico, and it will be 100% tourist, meaning that it will stop on the main touristic spots in these states, like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and it will go in the ruins and just the best spots. This train will visit all of them, and you can go and see or Google more information about the Tren Maya. As I said, here's the link, and I will share those links later with you. Also, what's another good thing that is happening in Tulum? Well, the international airport. It's already announced that in 2023, Tulum will have an international airport, meaning that you don't need to, if you're coming from Europe or from New York or whatever, you don't need to now arrive to Cancun and then drive 2 hours to Tulum. Now we will have an international airport here in Tulum as well in 2023, so that will bring a lot of more tourists and a lot of more potential guests into your apartment. And as I say before, Tulum right now is like investing in Cancun 20 years ago. So this is the right time to invest for all of you guys. Now, I think a lot of you, they have this question, like, can a foreigner or expat buy a real estate in Mexico? And the answer is yes, but you need a fideicomiso. Well, I have here a text that says, by conformity of Article 27, Fraction 1 of the Political Institution of the United States of Mexico, blah, 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 foreigners can acquire a piece of land or a house as long as if your piece of land or property is in the first 100 kilometers from any border or any coastline, or 50 kilometers for the coastline, you need this permit that is called the fideicomiso. And as I say, pretty much a fideicomiso is a permit that the Mexican government offers to anyone from all around the world to invest in Mexico and own a piece of real estate here. The cost is around $2,500 US. This is just one time. And actually the permit, it lasts 50 years. So who knows where we're going to be in 50 years from now. Anyways, but after the second year, you will need to renew that permit, and for each year, and the cost is $522 US each year. So it's just one time, 2,500, and then after the second year, every year is going to be $522 US. But how are you going to pay this? Well, all these fees, they're going to be paid with the rents and the money that you're going to be creating by renting out your apartment on Airbnb or Booking.com. But we will talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Now let's go and start talking a little bit about what's the difference between Playa del Carmen and Tulum. And before that, let me explain you the areas in Playa del Carmen. If that is where you want to invest, let me explain you the areas where you need to invest. The areas that they are more attractive when you are investing for. Let me just go here to the map. For your real estate investment. So obviously, as I said before, so this is the map of here, this area in Quintana Roo. So when you arrive from your country, you arrive so far here into the Cancun airport, and from Cancun to Playa del Carmen is 45 minutes. So you come here for the Carretera Federal, Tililim, and once that you arrive to Playa del Carmen, this is Playa del Carmen downtown. And this is actually the area that you want to invest right here. You want to stay, Playa Car is the most exclusive area in the whole Playa del Carmen, but it's already built, and it's there are not too many options anymore. But you can find good deals still. Here, this is where you want to be, because this is where the action is. You want to be, if you want, as I say, if you want to invest and make another income for you, you want to buy your property here, because it's the closest that you are to the water, the better, because in that case, your guest, they can just walk to the Walmart, to the beach, to the mall, to the Fifth Avenue. La Quinta Avenida is the most famous avenue here. It's like a Times Square in New York, for example. It's full of stores and shopping places and malls and stuff. It could be a little bit loud as well for a pretty crowd for some people, but if you're looking for action and have fun, this is the area for you right here. Now, if your intention is to move here in Playa del Carmen and retire and to live here, I would recommend that you maybe invest in these areas right here, or maybe across the highway, because they are a little bit more quiet. They're pretty safe, they are quiet, and then we have here a mall. It's called Centro Maya. It has movie theaters, banks, hospitals, everything. So you have everything here if your intention is to come and live. Also, one of my favorite areas right here, it's Sasilja, which is all this area right here. It's the upcoming area. Pretty good deals that you can find right now. Very quiet, close to everything. You can walk to the beach as well, and it's very, very nice. You're in the middle of the action, but you don't have that crowd and that noise that maybe you're gonna have here with all the vendors and everything. So, what's the difference between investing in Tulum and Playa del Carmen? Well, in Playa del Carmen, most of the tourism we have, it's local tourism, and some Americans and a few Canadians. So Playa del Carmen is very, very touristy, meaning that if you invest here, your apartment can be rented more weeks out of the year, but a lower price because it's a little bit cheaper than Tulum. So your apartment will be rented more weeks, but a little bit cheaper price versus Tulum right here. Let me go close here. Tulum right here, that everything's a little more expensive and more, cool, chic, whatever. So because it's a little more expensive, the tourism that we have here is there are more Americans, Canadians, and Europeans, and less national or Mexican tourism here, because it's pretty, a little bit expensive. I mean, you can spend a few $100s in just a meal here in the zona hotelera on the beach club area as well. So here, if you invest in Tulum, it could be that your apartment will be rented less weeks out of the year, but in a higher price. So you will make more money than maybe in Playa del Carmen. And also, since it will be rented a little bit less weeks, I'm not saying there's not much different, but a little bit less weeks, your apartment will be also in a better shape because there's not too many traffic, not too many clients or guests coming in and out all the time. So, your apartment will be more taken care of, and than maybe Playa del Carmen, we can, have like a lot of people moving in and out all the time. So also, Tulum is where everybody wants to be right now. Because, as I said before, it's like investing in Cancun 20 years ago. So it's Cancun. Cancun has, I think, around maybe 1 million inhabitants. I think Playa del Carmen is half. It has like a 500,000 people living there, and Tulum, I think there are just like a 200,000 people living in Tulum right now. So it's very small. There's just a small hospital here, a couple of banks, no malls, nothing big, no movie theaters here yet, no nothing like that. So we are in the jungle here, but that's exactly why it's so attractive, because we are very close to the nature, and a lot of people comes here and they just enjoy to be near to the nature. There's a lot of like a yoga and meditation here. A lot of people, they say this is like the new Thailand, or the Thailand of America, because it's affordable, it's very zen, very chill, and you are very close to the nature, the ocean, and with all that energy coming from the earth. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into that topic right now. But now, where do you want to invest in Tulum? So same thing. When you come from the highway, from the Carretera Federal, you enter through here. All this is a park that never is going to be built because it's a national park. Here are the ruins. So you don't need to worry for this, because all this it will stay just like nature, like jungle. But here on the edges, there's a few potential buildings that you can invest. So a lot of things have happened lately in Tulum. A couple of months ago, it was just this access. This was the only access, Avenida Coba, to go to the beach and to the beach clubs and to the ruins and blah blah. So it was kind of like sometimes could be on the weekends, like some traffic, and it was a little bit annoying because it was a lot of cars here. Even when a lot of people they use here bikes and scooters, still you could get stuck in traffic for a few hours, no hours. I mean a few minutes. Sorry, I don't know, like half an hour or something like that. But now, a month ago, 4 weeks ago, they just opened the new Avenida Kukulkan, the new avenue. So now we have two access to the beach road. So now you have the options to take this one, which is already built and beautiful and clean and everything, and this one is still kind of like it's not paved yet, but they're already working on it and it's already open. So you can drive or take your bikes and use this other access to go to the beach. But what that means for your investment, it means that now all this area right here is the area that actually is exploding. It's called La Veleta and Region 15 and Region 8. So all this area right here is a good moment to invest as well, because it's still jungle. Let me give you another view that you can have a better idea. All this is still jungle, but there are already a few developments happening here that it will give you a lot of capital gain, because this is the right time. Right now, all this area right here, this is Aldea Sama. Aldea Sama right now is the most exclusive and private area in the whole Tulum, but at the same time, it's a little bit more high in price. So it's good. It's pretty. It's beautiful. You just feel like you are in Florida or something like that, because everything's just clean and paved, and all the electricity is already done and everything, which is really nice if you're looking for comfort and that maybe Aldea Sama or Aldea Premium will be for you. If you're looking for good prices and good opportunities, maybe Region 15 and Region 8 will be also another option for you. Now, if you ask me where would I would invest, for me, this is my favorite avenue, Avenida Cobal right here, because it's very close to the ocean, to the beach. From here, you just drive and you're like in 5 minutes car, or 10 minutes by bike, and 15 minutes if you like to run and get some jog or something. You can go from here to the beach in just a few minutes. Instead of, if you are inside of Aldea Sama, you will need to go all around, and then drive here. But that's why I like all this area in Coba Avenue, because you are closer to the beach. But if you invest in Region 15 as well, look at that. You are almost, if you see it, maybe it could be that you are a bit closer. I don't know. It's like an angle here, so maybe it's closer to the beach here than here. This seems to be longer. Depends where you invest. If you buy a piece of property, an apartment here, well, you're gonna be just right there. But yeah, so definitely this is Tulum. This is the areas that you wanna invest on for your next apartment or condo or house in Aldea Sama, Coba, which is my favorite, or Region 15 right here. Here it's okay as well, but it's very local, and it's just in downtown, so it's a little more noisy. Could be that you can find pretty cheap deals around here as well, but you are farther from the beach as well. So, but let me tell you something interesting here. Do you see these lines right here? Do you see these lines right here? Okay, all this area is called Tulum 101, and a few developers already joined and bought all this piece of property, and they're going to start building soon here in all this area, meaning that you're going to be you can even walk to the beach. I mean, it's going to be super, super close, but this is projected to be ready by 2023. However, some developers, they already start offering offering prices here on apartments that you can invest. All of these is going to be on pre-sale. It's not ready yet, but you can start investing right now or reserving your apartment for 2022 and 2023. So as I mentioned, look at, you see this little streets here? Well, these are going to be a new access, and I'm going to show you how it's projected to be for 2023, or could be sooner. So do you see this? This is pretty much the projection of Aldea Sama and all that area. So that little streets that I pointed to you on Google Maps, this is how it's going to be. So people who invest in Aldea Sama Premium or an Aldea Sama right here, they're going to have a third access. It's going to be a new access that will connect you to the beach right here. And this is the Tulum 101 that I was telling you. Here they're gonna build one of those green schools that they have in Australia and New Zealand. It's one of those schools for kids focusing on nature and how you can take care of the world, which we needed, by the way. So there's going to be one of those pretty nice schools here. Here's going to be like a park where it's going to be just focused on meditation, Zen. You can run. It's going to be like they're going to have like a running trails and all that stuff. So as you can see, it's going to be very cool. It's going to keep and maintain the the nature. They're going to try to maintain as much nature as they can. So it will be very the place that you can invest right here. This is going to be a really, really good option for you. You see, those are the streets that I was just telling you right now. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Oh, by the way, when I say Tulum is like investing in Cancun 20 years ago, that doesn't mean that Tulum in some point is going to be like Cancun, because the reason is that in Tulum there's a lot of cenotes or underground rivers, so the soil just by itself, it doesn't let you build tall here. So everything has to be no more than 3 or 4 stories high. So you're never going to see those like big tall buildings like Cancun that everything looks like a city and it looks horrible. In Tulum, it's going to be different. In Tulum, they're trying to keep, like a small little town. Everything is going to be small buildings, no taller than the jungle trees in the jungle in this area. So everything is going to be eco-chic, small, quiet, not too busy, no big highways, no nothing like that here. So it won't be like Cancun, but I'm saying you can find really good opportunities like Cancun 20 years ago, but it will never be like Cancun. So just that you know that you're safe. It won't become a big city, which is good. Anyways, so okay, go back to the presentation. Oh, by the way, I recommend you Canva for presentations. Are pretty cool, and those are absolutely free. So we already talked about Tulum and the areas. I already showed you the map, and now this is the point that you need to think. What do you expect? What do you want to invest at? Do you want a piece of land that can get a pretty decent capital gain and appreciation with time? You don't need to spend an HOA fees when you have a piece of land, because it's just right there. There's nothing on it. And you will see your return of investment more in the future, in the next few years. But you don't see that return of investment, sooner. So it's always a good option to invest in a piece of land. However, it's not my favorite. Now, a house Yes, a house. A lot of people they are like, oh, can I get a house in Tulum and everything? Having a house in Tulum could be a good idea as well, because you can get good capital gain with time. You can get a good return of investment if you rent it out, but it has no amenities. And what I mean by that is like if you have a house, pretty much you have just the pool and that's it. Just the house and the pool, nothing else. You will need to find your own rental management company. If you want to rent it out, you will need to find an external management company and that can take care of your house. And also, it is good for security. I'm not sure about it, because then you will need to hire a person to be living there or being inside in your house that makes sure that it's always safe and nobody's going to just jump in the wall and break in your house, right? So I don't know if having a house in the jungle would be the best option. If what you want is privacy and you want a house, I mean, be my guest. But for me, I don't think that would be the best option. Now, an apartment in a condo, that's a different story, because you're going to have a great return of investment, because also it has amenities. Amenities, sometimes you're going to find like a gym, a yoga room, barbecue area, sometimes movie theaters, outdoor movie theaters. They have, I don't know, co-working spaces, restaurants, bars, many pools. So it has a lot of things that it will keep your guest entertained when you're not there. Also, not just you will just get you just not will get ROI from your rentals. You also are getting capital gain by itself, because you know, with time your apartment will go and cost and get a lot of appreciation, and you will get more money out of your apartment. Another good thing about having an apartment is they have always someone on site, security person 24/7. So even if you decide to go back for a few months to your country, you can always have that peace of mind that someone will be there, putting an eye on your apartment, you know. So it's kind of safe. It's 100% in investment. Yes, you're right. You can live in one of these apartments for sure, but I think those are more focused for investment. You know, to rent them out on Airbnb or Booking.com or whatever. And a lot of these buildings, they come already with rental management companies. What did that mean? That means that if you invest in your apartment, you have the option to live on it, or you can rent it out, and they already have a company who they will do the check-ins and outs of your guests. They will clean your apartment. If something breaks, like, I don't know, a mirror or a table or whatever, they'll fix it for you or exchange the you know, the furniture. They will make sure to have always your apartment 100% ready to rent, and they will take care of all the amenities and HOAs fees and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty good deal to have one of these companies already built into your investment. Now let's go and see the difference between what is better. Is better to get something already built or in pre-sale or under construction, like I say? Well, let's start with the already built. The pros, the good things about having already or investing, buying something already built, is of course the security. You can see it, you can touch it, you can go and see the final product. So it's pretty good. And it's also ready to move in, and you can start renting out right away. So it's good to have it. However, the cons is going to be that it's going to be more expensive, and most of the time, if we are talking about a condo or, you know, a development that has a lot of apartments, most of the time when the building is already built, you're gonna just have the leftovers. Whatever the other buyers they didn't want to buy for any reason. Could be that it's in the corner, could be that it has like a bad light, I don't know. But for some reason, those that didn't sell on the pre-sale stage, it's gonna be the ones that nobody else wanted to invest. So also, it will take a little bit longer to see your return of investment because you're going to pay more for something that is already built. And I think the worst part is that you need to pay all cash in front because it's already done. So it's pay me everything, no finance or anything. You need to pay me everything, and here's the keys for your apartment. So that's it. There's no other options. On pre-sale, which is my favorite option, it's way better. And the good things are you can get a better return of investment because if you invest in these apartments on the construction stage, the developer will give you a way better price than when it's already finished. Also, you will have more options to choose the right unit because you are in that stage where you have many options on the development, so you can pick the best unit based on, I don't know, views or better breeze from the ocean or better light. I don't know, whatever is better for you. You have more options to choose from. You can also plan better your investment because most of the time you just need 30% down payment. That's something that everybody's going to ask you for, all the developers, 30% down payment. And then you can go, the rest of the payments can go up to 24 months or 36 months, depends when they're going to deliver that specific apartment. But I mean, you have more freedom to play with your money a little bit more. You know, you don't need to pay everything upfront, so you just need that. And as I said, you have also more time to get your documents. What documents? Well, the fideicomiso that I was talking before. You know, which, by the way, the fideicomiso, you don't need it at this point. You need it. You will need it more when they deliver the apartment to you. So it's pretty simple process. It will take around 3 weeks as well to get your fideicomiso done. But as I said, you need certain documents. They're gonna ask you for I don't know, like passport and birth certification, all that kind of stuff. So you have more time to get all the documents ready and then do the whole fideicomiso process. The cons, the bad things, well, true, you can't see the final product. It's true, the only thing you're gonna see are what we call renders, and renders are more like kind of like a pictures, but they're not real. So you just need to trust. You just need to trust the developer and the architect that it will look like that. And I have to say 99%, 98% of the time, it looks exactly like the renders. So trust me, they're gonna be, your apartment will be at the end the way it looks on the render. And then also you have to be patient because yeah, sometimes these developments, they're going to be ready in 2022 or 2023, and you think that, oh, but I want to start making money right away with my rentals. But think about this: if you invest on a pre-sale or on the construction stage, you're already making money because you are. If your apartment, if you, for example, if you pay 80,000 or no, let's go for 100 grand for your apartment. By the time they deliver it to you, your apartment, it won't cost 100 grand anymore. It will cost around 125, 130. So you already make 25 or $30,000 by doing nothing, just waiting. And guess what? Your apartment hasn't even been used, not even one single time. So your apartment is still super new, brand new, and you already made 20, 25 grand by just waiting. So you're already making money when you invest on a pre-sale. So just to be clear that your money start growing by the time that you invest on pre-sale. Questions? Well, unfortunately, this one is recorded, so I cannot answer your questions live because I have some issues with Facebook Live yesterday. But if you write them down and send it to me via email, WhatsApp, or Facebook, I will be more than happy to answer each of them. Let's keep going. Loans and mortgages in Mexico for expats. It is possible? Sí. Yes. Now, my recommendation is that you try in your country first, because the interest rate in Mexico is around 7%, which is way higher than, I think, in the States it's around 2%, and in Canada, for example, it's like 3%, something like that. So I think I recommend you that you try in your country first, because you will get a better deal. Here in Mexico, they are more like a personal loans. It's not like those loans or mortgages that last 20 or 30 years. Here, because the amount of money that they're going to lend you, the bank is going to lend you, it's less. I'm talking about 50 grand, 100, maybe 200 grand max. They give you 7 years to pay back. So it's shorter, the time that you need to pay back the money. But remember, all that's going to be paid back with the rents that you're going to be making with your apartment. It is pretty easy to get. It's based on your credit score in your own country, and takes around 3 weeks to get approved. So I'm gonna give you also the links here where you can apply for those loans in Mexico for if you're not Mexican. And good luck with that. I think you have pretty good chances. Now, property insurances in Mexico. Do you need to have one? No, it's not necessary, but I will always recommend that you have one. It's been almost decades that we don't have like a big hurricane or tornado here, or well, we don't have tornadoes, but more like a big hurricanes. But still, I think it's better to have it just in case of fire or whatever. They are pretty easy to get, and they are pretty affordable as well. I was just checking in one of the main companies here for insurances in Mexico. It's called AXA, and for the regular insurance for like a 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom apartment, it's around $1,500 per year. So I think to have that peace of mind, I think it's a good deal. So here's the link as well, in case that you are interested on that. What is the management service companies are going to do for you? Well, they're going to make sure that put your apartment in all social media, on Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, Airbnb, Booking.com, all that stuff. They're going to take care of taking pictures of it, the content strategy, checking in and out, paying bills, electric bills, water, all that. They're going to pay all those bills for you, internet, all of that. They take care of that. They take care of the customer relationship management, just to have a conversation with the customer all the time. They clean and fix everything in your apartment, and then send you all the reports every month of all the rentals that you had that month. How much they charge? They charge around 20 and 25% depending on the company, but they from that percentage that they're going to charge you, they already paying all the bills and taxes and everything. So I think it's pretty good, because at the end they're going to be making around maybe 10% commission for taking care of your apartment after paying all bills and everything. So it's between 20 and 25%, and then you keep the rest. They will deposit all the rentals into your bank account, no matter where you are. Closing costs when you invest in Mexico. I always tell my clients that they should save at least 6% of the total cost of your apartment, of your investment, for closing costs. What is in that 6%? Well, we already talked before: the fideicomiso, escrituración, which is the transfer of the title on your name, taxes, and maybe legal fees like hiring a lawyer or an accountant. All that is going to be included on that 6%. So that keeping always that in mind, that it's not just the price that they tell you that you need to pay for your apartment. It's also a little extra for closing costs. And well, that's pretty standard. That also in your country you need to do the same thing. And get for the next one. Now, once that you decide which apartment do you want or which house you want or whatever, there are different payment methods that the developer can offer to you. The traditional one is 30, 50, 20. That means they're going to ask you for 30% down payment, 50% during construction, and 20% at the time of delivery. The second payment method is they're going to ask you for 50, 30, 20, which is 50% down payment, 30% on the construction, monthly payments, whatever, and 20% at the end. Now, since you are giving more money to the developer to play with your money, usually they give you a discount, which is around the 3%. They give you like minus 3% of the total cost of your apartment. So you're already saving some money. The last payment method, it's 80-20, meaning if you can afford, you're in the position that you can give a better, bigger down payment, they will sometimes offer you up to 6% discount of the total price of that apartment, which I think is pretty cool as well. So it's 80-20, 80% down payment, 20% at the time of delivery. What can you expect from your investment? Well, you can expand your real estate portfolio, number one, which I think is really good. It's always good to invest instead of having your money seated on the bank, which it won't go anywhere, and also it won't create any return on investment. Basically, it's better to. It's already proven that you need to put your money to work and invest it in something. It's more likely that you become a wealthy person or rich person by investing and not by just having your money in the bank account. When you invest in real estate in Mexico, you can get between the 8 and 10% return of investment plus the capital gain. So it's a pretty good deal. These numbers are conservative. Sometimes you can get more. But we like to always say that at least would be 8 or between 8 and 10, and that also can go up to sometimes even 15%, depending the time of the year, depending the season, depending a lot of things. Like in a normal year, not like this last year that COVID happened. You know, that nobody expected that. So things happen, and that's why it's called investment, because investment sometimes get some kind of risk, but we try to minimize those risks as much as we can when you work with a certified real estate advisor or broker, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I always advise you, if you don't work with me, it's totally fine, but try to work with someone who's certified, someone who has the experience, the knowledge, can communicate with you clearly as well. And it's very important that you always are working with that kind of person. And what else can you expect? Okay, return of investment and appreciation, obviously, with the years. So I always say, I always say to my clients that you're going to make more money between year number 1 and year number 4. That's when you're going to make all the money from your apartment. You need to squeeze each dollar in between those 4 years. Between the year number 4 and the year number 6, it will be steady. It won't keep growing, but also it won't go down. It will just try to think in your mind like a graphic. Between the year number 1 and 4, it goes up, 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 up. And then between the year number 4 and the 6 or 7, it's in a steady line. It doesn't go up, but doesn't go down as well. It's just steady. After the year number 7, it will start slowly going down. Why? Because now your apartments are getting old. Your apartment is being used for a few years. Or maybe there's a new upcoming area. So whatever. So these kind of apartments, this kind of business model that I try to offer to my clients is basically just to make more money. I always recommend that after the year number 7 or 8, you should just sell your apartment and upgrade your apartment. Sell it, and with that money, you're gonna already make making a decent return of investment with appreciation, with the capital gain and the rentals, then now you can buy something bigger in another place, or here in Tulum as well, Playa del Carmen, but just something bigger, and you keep upgrading every 6-7 years. So that's my recommendation. But if you want to keep it for 30 years, it's up to you. Now, do you need to be here to invest in Tulum or Playa del Carmen? And the answer is no. But it's always a good excuse to get some vacations and grab a margarita here. Because now in times of COVID, everything is digital, so everything can be done since your living room. So when you work with a certified realtor or a well-known agency, they will make sure that they study or they work with just developers who they are well known in the area, that they have experience already building in the area, that they have a good reputation, and that they always deliver what they promise. So that's why it's very important that you work with a certified real estate advisor like me or some others, because we make sure that everything that these developers and the architects, that they have all license and permits necessary and paid, and they have all the documentation ready to build, because we don't want to give you bad surprises in the future. So as I say, an investment is always it has involves some kind of risk, but my job, my work is to minimize those risks for you, since you're not Mexican, since you're not here. So we'll take care of that. We'll make sure that your investment is safe and is, always a smart investment, if may say. The investment process. So as I said, once that you find your apartment, once that you found the right place, the right location, the right apartment or house or whatever, most of the developers, they're going to ask you for a reservation letter, which is not a contract. It's just a letter that it says, I want to reserve this unit, this specific unit. They're going to ask you for $3,000 US. Some of them, they ask you for 5,000. And those are 100% refundable, meaning that it's going to be reserved for 15 business days. Make sure that those are business days, meaning 3 weeks. And what is going to happen in those 15 days is they're going to save that unit. They are not allowed to sell it or increase the price or anything. So that unit is already locked for you. They're going to send you in those 15 days all the documents that you need that you can review them with your lawyer or people of trust, and then you just sign the documents digitally or electronically, whatever you want. And then if you agree, you just go. The next step will be the down payment. If for any reason you change your mind and you decide in those 15 days that maybe no, it's not a good idea right now, then do not worry. They're going to send you back that reservation. Those $3,000, they're going to go back to you. In case that you decide to move forward, nobody keeps those $3,000 or $5,000 US. I don't keep them. Those are going towards the down payment. So in this case, will be the down payment minus the $3,000 that you already gave. So just also that you know that. And then at the end will be the fideicomiso and the escrituración. The escrituración is the transfer of the title on your name. So that's, as I said, that's when they give you the keys. And then after that, you just enjoy your apartment. So it's a pretty easy way to do it. I guess it's pretty similar in your country as well. As I say, when to resell, we already went through this. We already talked about this. You 1 to 4 is when you create all this capital gain and return investment. Then in the year number 5 and 7, steady. At year number 7 or 8, it's time to resell. So I'm finished here. I'm done with my presentation. If you have any questions, you can always go to my website, livethetulumdream.com, on my Facebook, on YouTube, also on Instagram at livethetulumdream.com. You can email me at livethetulumdream@gmail.com as well if you have any questions. For all that person or all that people that trying to see me yesterday on Facebook, one more time, I apologize for that. Things happen. For some reason, I couldn't share my screen, and I think it's very important that you see all of that in your screen as well, because otherwise, what's the point? Just see me talking. It's like it has no point, right? Plus, you don't want to see this ugly face in your computer for 40 minutes. Anyways, thank you so much for everything. I hope to talk to you soon. If you can call me, you can email me, ask me everything you need, everything you want. Take notes. If you know someone who can use this video, send it to them. Recommend me, and thank you one more time. Thank you again. Take care. Bye. Okay, so there you have it. So this is everything you need to know in order to invest in the Riviera Maya. As I mentioned before, and one more time, I apologize for what happened yesterday with the technical issues on Facebook Live. However, if you wrote down all your questions, just send it to me and I'll make sure that I can answer all of them. And that's it. I hope to see you next time. One more time, I apologize for what happened yesterday. It won't happen again. See you in the next video, and see you on the beach.